So it is definitely a hate crime whereby they deny me access to the bathroom. They torture me like a Guantanamo Bay prisoner. A couple of days ago, this week, I went into that bathroom as I was coming out of the bathroom. As soon as I flushed, they had a woman with a baby stroller. They're bringing children in there to attack me. Anytime I flush, they'll come and surround me in the bathroom. So as I was getting ready to come out of the bathroom, they left the bathroom real dirty. Anytime I record the bathroom dirty, I record the temperature being hot, they will attack me. So this female, she may be white, she sounded like she was white. As soon as I flushed, I was about to get out, she opened the door. So I ran back into my store. Then she walked past my store with a stroller. I believe she had a stroller. And she was saying exactly. I think it was in the daytime. It was this week. So they keep following me with their police cars, trying to cause get me scared, like I'm about to be killed or something. Calling their police on me. So they're violating. They're following me around with their police cars. It's ridiculous. Anytime I try to use the bathroom, they make it a big deal. Anytime I try to use the bathroom, they start creating all this sensation around me. To make me feel like I'm a ape. I'm a stinking ape. They're asking people to create that illusion. The stores I go to, now if I try to go back there, they treat me like a stinking ape. So they intentionally, soiling my image. And so this is how this NYPD fights. Even whenever they felt they're so neck deep in corruption, they said the new police commissioner, who is a Puerto Rican who has been accused of being violent and getting away with it with civilians and getting away with it in Harlem. They said he attacked a civilian in Harlem and they didn't punish him. He still kept on the job. He said now they're going to be using foot soldiers. Oh, they'll be on the ground. So they've been attacking me on the ground. The last time I went to Queens, this black American came on the train, on the E-train, around 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I think it was a couple of days ago also. I saved the recording in my Google Drive. And he was grabbing his penis and he was pointing to the ground. So anytime I try to get assistance for my, because I've been stuck out here in the street, they'll be threatening me medical death threat. I said this NYPD is assigning, assassination to civilian thugs. Like the Malcolm X case is alleged. They're using civilians in conjunction with the FBI, CIA to kill other civilians. So it's like they're selling me out to their thugs, like you want to get famous for killing an African, go after the African. So they have all kinds of black American thugs, all kinds of thugs harassing me, threatening me with death. So it's like they're telling them you want to be famous and get away with killing an African, that's the one you go after. With whom? And they said, even in the case of Malcolm X, they said the guy that killed Malcolm X, allegedly, the Nation of Islam or whoever was guarding Malcolm X tried to arrest the guy, the NYPD freed the guy and let the guy walk scot-free. So I think they're promising these people, or they thought that you want to make a name for yourself, go after the African and would disrupt an investigation. And the Nigerian embassy wouldn't help me either. And so everybody, they seem a lot of these people have an interest that if we can harm this African, not only would we get street cards that we can kill somebody, especially an African, and wouldn't get put in prison. And then, even the Nigerian embassy, they promised to help me when I was set up in July 23, 2019. I was supposed to in Psych 1. And I called the Nigerian embassy for the Psych 1. They promised to help me. And they said they were going to forward my case to the Nigerian government in their capital. And then I should keep calling back. And I tried to call them back. And they refused they started hanging up the phone on me. They refused to help me afterwards. So it's like everybody has an interest, some kind of illicit interest in maybe, they feel, if they could harm me, maybe the Nigerian government feel somebody else can deputize and bring the money to Nigeria because I've been attacked so long. I told the Nigerian embassy that my mother also was killed wrongfully at the Bellevue Hospital. Our Daughters in America said her wrong, got the hospital to move her from the ICU to the psych unit. Maliciously. Our Daughters in America did it to me also. When I was having a court case, my mother kidnapped me, took me to Pittsburgh where our daughters were resided, and they almost hit me with a car. And then called the police on me when I was trying to come back to New York with my mother for my court case, and lied to the police that I was attacking people with a weapon. I don't have any court case. So they put me in the psych ward in Mercy Hospital in Pittsburgh. And and the hospital was telling, when I told the hospital I have to be released to go back to New York for my court case, they said, my mother's daughters in America said I don't have any court case, that I'm just crazy, they should keep medicating me. I had to call my lawyer in New York, and my lawyer called the hospital, and they let them walk away scot-free. That was in 2001. They did that to me. I was new in the country. I was arrested by the immigration. I had a visa, but it said the permanent resident can't bring children here. My mother was a permanent resident. So I was in court. After I was released from immigration prison, I was still going back to court. So our daughter set me up, with my mother. My mother took me to them in Pittsburgh. She just tricked me, kidnapped me, trafficked me as an immigrant. And they let my mother and my daughters in America escape in 2001. No criminal charges was filed by the Mercy Hospital in Pittsburgh against any of them. And 11 years later, my mother's daughters in America did the same thing to my mother. She was in Bellevue Hospital. And my mother would even tell them what hospital she was in, because she said that they're that dangerous. They even talked to people in Nigeria that hate my mother. So my mother knew they were capable of lying to the doctor, to the hospital, to harm her. So my mother wouldn't tell her daughters in America what hospital she was in. She knew they had a track record, because my mother and my daughters in America already set me up 11 years ago. In 2001. So 14 years ago, rather, before my mother was killed. So my mother knew they had a track record like that. So my mother wouldn't tell anybody what hospital she was in. But she said our daughters in America was able to find out what hospital she was in, and they lied to the hospital to put my mother in psych ward. 14 years later, they did the same thing to my mother. And put her and said my mother was having because she's already had it in a medical papers that she doesn't want any surgery done in America. I guess part of it was she was afraid of her daughters in America in case they tried to harm her, because she saw they were able to set me up, and put me in the psych ward. So she wanted to go to Israel to have a surgery. That she said our daughters in America were acting very malicious towards her, also calling people in Nigeria that hates my mother, that my mother was trying to get the police to arrest. And those people were trying to get the police to arrest my mother also. She had a bad record with some people in Nigeria. I said our daughters in America were speaking to those people. So my mother was very scared. So she because of that, due to her personal safety reason and a religious belief that God can heal her, so she puts in a medical record. She doesn't want to have surgery done in the United States, and she would rather go to Israel. And she also has a faith religious belief, so due to religious reasons, she doesn't want to have surgery done. And our daughters went to the hospital, said they should move her to the psych ward, and if for not having surgery done, and they killed her that way. They said on the way to the psych ward, my mother died. She was so annoyed. She died from the stress. And the police wouldn't help me. So now, anytime I try to use the bathroom, they bring all these white females. They were saying exactly. Some days ago, I don't know what that exactly means. But as soon as my mother was killed, they were having people laugh at me on the street. Because my mother also was going after the NYPD for taking her home on Staten Island. So now they attack me with violence. I think this violence is being suffered by the NYPD, and the Nigerian government also is well aware, and it's not helping me on that, because they have a bilateral agreement between the Nigerian government and the American government that any crime done between Nigeria and America, both governments will cooperate to prosecute the crime. So they bring Nigerians here to engage in internet fraud against white Americans. They ship them to America to answer charges. So according to the Nigerian embassy, that the American government is not helping me, the NYPD is not helping me, the city is not helping me. I'm reporting all this crime. My mother killed my daughters on Bellevue. The NYPD taking my home on Staten Island. I said the 911 system is not helping me. And the Nigerian government promised to help me, and they started hanging up the phone on me while I was in the psych ward. Because they set me up on July 23rd, 2019. This MTA has a torture program, so whereby they identify blacks that they want to harm, and homeless blacks like me, they want to harm and deny access to the subway. So they tell the black American workers someone to call 911 when I'm on the subway. And so back then, 2019, Trump was president. So they were using this Caribbean female to harass me at the Prospect Park bathroom. She came to the bathroom that July 23, 2019. It was so hot that day. Somebody just died in the Bronx. So anytime there's a news report of somebody dying or being killed, they try to repeat the same way attack on me. Or any bad reports in the news, the person doesn't have to die. So on July 23, 2019, it was July 23, 2019, it was all over the news that somebody died of heat exhaustion in the Bronx. So this Caribbean female came into the bathroom for weeks. She was following me around, and she was playing with the hand dryer. There was no window in the bathroom, and she was playing with the hot water. So she was washing her underwear, and it was smoke everywhere from the heat, the steam from the hot water. So I was recording everything. It was smoke everywhere. I said, I'm going to release this video to the press, and I'm going to be arrested. So when I left, I used to call 911 on it, but I decided not to call 911. I knew it was a setup. They were going to try to arrest me and steal the phone from me or something. So they knew I had a powerful video in my hand. So I left the bathroom, went to J Street, and they sent an MTA worker, Spanish guy, to accost me on J Street on the R train platform. He said, "You're done today." So I brought out my phone again. I said I was attacked, and I had the video on Prospect Park earlier. There was steam, smoke everywhere in the bathroom. This Caribbean lady was attacking me in the bathroom, playing with the hand dryer, no window, playing with the hot water. Said she was washing her underwear and drying it. And while I was in the bathroom, I told her to stop. I can't. It's so hot, and she wouldn't stop. There was smoke everywhere in the bathroom. I was choking. I couldn't breathe. I was coughing. So I was telling her, look, I required all this powerful evidence. So by the time I left the bathroom from Prospect Park, queued line, went to the R train station, the platform on the J Street. They sent a Spanish mail because they noticed I always switch trains at that platform. They sent the Spanish mail with the orange jacket, said, "You're done today." And by 8 p.m. July 20, 2019, that same day, they had a guy hit me in the head on Bay Ridge and 4th Avenue near the NYPD surveillance camera, and the police stormed the area. So I was in distress. I was trying to report what had just happened to me. They knocked me to the ground and put their nail on my neck and took me to the psych ward. And as soon as I got to psych ward, NYU Psychiatric Hospital, which is a hospital near that Bay Ridge and 4th Avenue, and near the prison there, and they said they have a collaboration with the NYPD prison there, whereby they organize baseball games. So I was set up. So as soon as I got to the hospital, some of the staff was saying "Me Too." Because at that time I was trying to sue the Me Too for refusing to help me with my case after I was evicted from my home on Staten Island by the NYPD unlawfully on September 9, 2010. The NYPD sexually harassed me while evicting me. My mother even saw that. She was witness to that I was being sexually harassed. And so I called the Me Too lawyer, Gloria Allred, years after that killed my mother. Before 2019 that she should help me. I asked her if she can help me, and she told me she doesn't go after the NYPD. So I was trying to sue her for legal malpractice. By 2019, they took me to psych ward, and they wanted to steal all my evidence. They put me in handcuffs, dispossessed me of my belongings, like my bag I was carrying that day, and all my phones I had in my bag. I just happened to still have that phone on me, because they were I think they were on order to steal all my phones, but they mistakenly, let me have my phone I was using to record that in my pocket. But every other thing they left it on the sidewalk for me to be burglarized. So they now sent thieves after I was moved away in handcuffs to the hospital nearby, NYU Psychiatric Hospital near the Bay Ridge and 4th Avenue. And people told me some other people came and took all my belongings. They said the sanitation department or something. So as soon as I got out of the psych ward, I called the sanitation department, and they told me all my belongings has been moved to the sanitation in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania. So they were just mocking. They still I can't have anything back. And they were just making mockery, because sometimes when you lose your ring, when you call the sanitation department, they'll help you trace it out. I told them I had bags of belongings, with my phone and everything. They told me everything has been shipped to the sanitation department in Pennsylvania. It's like they were just trying to terrorize me and remind me of how my mother's daughters attacked me in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and put me in the psych ward there also. So they have all my case history. I guess the phone tapped me because I was having an immigration problem. The first phone tapped me, so they share all the bad secret, every of my life history with all these people, so they know how to aggravate me. Same thing when my mother was alive. She said they would send people on the bus to kick her, things that would make her upset. Through tapping my phone line and listening to conversation my mother would have with me, because she always talks about how things that she are pet peeve. So they were able to weaponize their surveillance system to arrest me and my mother. They say anytime you go against the NYPD, the FBI, CIA will join, to torture you as a civil rights if you're trying to campaign for civil rights. So they're like a band of that go down together in corruption. They say that the federalists, CIA, FBI will support their local police like NYPD to get away with corruption. So I see my mother was trying to hold the NYPD responsible for corruption. Eric Garner was trying to help us with the court papers in 2014. He told me he was going to help me with the court papers, on Staten Island against the NYPD. That's in 2004. I recorded Eric Garner say that. That's in 2014. They choked him to death. Didn't let me testify in court, and said Eric Garner killer free. So so they know that where I know their secrets, so they keep harassing me everywhere, harassing me in the bathroom. So So this was going on. So this is Iverson and Greenwich. They're tackling the rain every time, everywhere I go.